What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today, I am very excited today. God, I feel like I've been saying that a lot lately, but you know what? I've been very excited lately. This is my season, man. This is when I come alive. Urban Decay was kind enough to send over the new Naked Honey palette along with a tube of eye primer, which, hello, thank you, because a bitch could always use some eye primer, okay? This is obviously the newest addition to their Naked line, and so we have some honey toned neutrals today. Every time a new Naked palette comes out, there's always a group of people who are upset that it's boring, and I'm so confused by that because it's a Naked palette. It's supposed to be neutrals. It'd be weird if it had bright red in it and it was a Naked palette. So this is what the inside of the Naked Honey palette looks like. We have a bunch of honey toned nudes in a variety of mattes, satins, and metallic shimmers. I'm gonna be doing 3 looks with it today, so we'll get to see pretty much everything in this palette. And at the end of the video, I will also give my thoughts on it, little first impression type review, and I will timestamp everything in the description down below. So if you just want to see look number 1, look number 2, look number 3, or just the review, you can jump right to that. If you ain't got time, I know you are a busy, important individual, and you got places to be, you got meals to eat. Last week, I did 2 looks with a different monochromatic palette. It was the X's and O's palette from ColourPop, and I had mentioned to you guys that sometimes with more monochromatic palettes, I feel like it's a bit redundant to do 3 looks because they're all so similar looking because the tones are the same. But with this palette, I was inspired to try to do something a little bit creative for the 3rd look and add in a little graphic of a bee on my cheek, and it was gonna be this whole cute thing. And I went through the whole 3rd look. I liked the look, and then when I went to apply the bee, the temporary tattoos that I bought for the bee just didn't work. They just straight up didn't work. So I'll show you me failing at that, but we did wind up with just 3 glam looks today because, you know what? Sometimes it's just like that. As always, I will also list all of the other products that I use in the looks in the description down below. I will not list my little bee tattoos because they suck. They sucked shit. Before we get started on the first look, please do not forget to leave a like on this video if you don't mind taking 1 second to do that because it really helps me, like, so much, more than you even know, and I very much appreciate it. And also, if you're new around here, go ahead and subscribe because get it? Because honey palette? Okay, don't subscribe because of my jokes. Dad jokes aside, I would like to encourage you to subscribe because I think you'll have a good time. I have no problem showing you me failing terribly at applying bee sticker tattoo things to my face. We have lots of fun chatting in the comments. It's generally a good chill time talking about makeup, and I think you would like it, and I would like you to be here too. Oh, and one more thing I just wanted to say, shout out to Urban Decay for being aware and sending their PR package in a very simple, very easily recyclable setup. Sometimes the amount of crap that comes with PR packages, it's like really fun and exciting, but like it's a lot. It's a lot. It's crazy. And I did speak to the Urban Decay PR team and they did let me know that this is what they plan to do going forward, which is awesome. I think that's all we need to talk about before we get into it. So without any more blabbering on my part, let's get into look number 1 with Urban Decay Naked Honey palette. For the first look, I want to do something wearable and very glam with this because I feel like the golds are just like telling me do something glam. To start this off, I'm going to take my BH number 6 brush and I'm going to go into the shade Keeper, and I'm going to start by packing that through the crease. And I'm going to go ahead and pick up a clean brush and just blend the edge of that out. Next, I'm going to take my NABLA Dab and Smudge brush and I'm going to go into the shade Queen. Definitely seems like something that we can get like something sexy sultry with. I'm going to go ahead and pack that over the whole lid. Oh, I also wet this with a little bit of Fix Plus, just FYI. I'm packing that shade down and bringing it right up to the crease. I'm going to use a darker brown just to connect those 2 colors together. Take my NABLA pointed crease brush and I'm going to go into the shade Drip, just like a warm brown. I'm just going to start putting that through the crease. And I'm picking up a little bit more of Queen on that same brush and I'm just going to pack it back over the lid because I don't want to lose any of that shimmer where I blended that matte. Next, I want to deepen up the crease a little bit further. So I'm going to go into the color Sting right here on the corner. And I'm going to use that to deepen up the outer corner and then the outside portion of the crease. little bit of fallout with that shade, but nothing wild, nothing crazy, nothing we can't handle, my friends. We can handle anything. We can definitely handle some fallout, that's for fucking sure. I'm gonna pick up a Real Techniques shading brush and I'm gonna go into the shade Golden. Again, I'm going to wet that with a little bit of Fix Plus. And I'm gonna pop that right in the very center of the lid just to create a little bit of a highlight there. And tap over the edges of that with a little bit of Queen just to blend them together. For the lower lash line, I want to bring in the brown tones and make it like a nice deep rich lash line. So I'm gonna grab the Urban Decay pencil in the color Corrupt. Corrupt is one of my favorite brown pencils of all time. This has been my go-to brown eye pencil, no joke, since like 2000, probably 10. I'm gonna run that through my waterline. I'm gonna run some of that through my lower lashes as well and then smudge it out a bit. Just gonna smudge that with a MAC 220 brush. I'm gonna go back into the shade Queen and I'm gonna use that along the lower lashes. I'm gonna grab that same Corrupt pencil and I'm going to use that just along the upper lashes, a very thin line, but I feel like it'll kind of complete the look a little bit more. Next, I'm gonna pick up a pencil brush and I'm gonna go into the shade Honey, which is like the brightest, most yellow shade in this palette. I've been dying to use this one. Again, just hitting that with a little bit of Fix Plus, and I'm gonna pop that right on the inner corner and just brighten the living shit out of it. I'm gonna take a little tiny bit more of Sting on a little baby blending brush. I'm just gonna build that a little bit more in the outer corner. Just feel like it will look a little bit more structured this way. I'm gonna go finish up this side, fix it up on the lid because I screwed it up a little bit on this side somehow, add some lashes, and then we will move on to the rest of the face. Okay, I added some freckles, I added lashes, I finished up the skin with some highlighter, some bronzer, some blush. I'll list all of the things I use on my skin down below if you guys are curious. For the lip, I have been re-obsessed recently, and I talked about this on my Instagram story, with the color 1993 from the Urban Decay Hi-Fi Shine Glosses. For some reason, this color is just so delicious on the lips. I want to give my lips a little bit more definition, so I am going to line them. I'm going to use the Everlasting Lip Pencil in the color Bow and Arrow. I'm just going to use that to define my lips and blend it toward the center and then go over the whole thing with 1993. And this is the first look. Okay, for this second look, obviously I took off the first one, but I left the lip on just because it looks nice and it's nice and hydrating and it feels nice on my lips, so why take it off until I absolutely have to, you know? This time I'm going to start with a slightly lighter crease shade. I'm going to go into the color Swarm on that same BH number 6 brush, and I am going to just pop that through the crease. This color is much more yellowy than I was expecting it to be from what I saw in the pan, and I'm very happy about it because I feel like that kind of continues the whole theme. I'm gonna pick up my Sigma E36 brush and I'm gonna go into the shade Hive, which is the more neutral shade in this palette. I'm gonna use that to deepen up the crease just a little. I'm actually gonna go back into Swarm for a second because since I like how yellowy that actually looks on the skin, I'm gonna take that right where my crease meets my nose bridge and I'm gonna add some more of that to that spot. I like how that kind of like deepens the eye socket, but also adds like a little extra color, a little bit more of like, I don't know, it helps you use the lid space a little bit more, you know? On that same little Sigma blending brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Sting. I'm gonna pick up just a really small amount of that and then tickle it through my crease area. I'm keeping that like higher up into like the top of the crease because I'm gonna cut the inner portion of the crease. We're gonna do like a half cut crease on this. I'm gonna go into the shade Keeper and I'm gonna blend that around the top of the crease as well. I'm gonna pop some very light concealer on the back of my hand and use my NABLA Cut Crease Maker brush to cut a half cut crease. I'm gonna start right here and bring the rest of that concealer down onto the lid. Okay, so I just did this whole freaking thing and I wasn't recording, but luckily I did all the steps on one eye, so I'm just gonna do it on this eye now. I'm gonna start with the shade Honey right here on a flat brush. Create a gradient from the brightest honey shade to like the deeper shimmers. So I'm picking up a bit of the shade Honey on a flat brush from MAC. I'm gonna use that one damp just for good measure because I want it to be like the most intense portion. I'm gonna use that same brush and I'm gonna go into the shade Golden. I'm gonna repeat that step next to that, just further over into the cut. And again, same brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Amber and put that down toward the outer edge a little bit more again. And at the very, very, very end, I'm gonna go into a little bit of the shade Queen on that same brush. And I'm only doing a tiny, tiny bit of this shade just to deepen up that outer portion. I'm gonna pick up that same Sigma E36 brush that we used in the crease and I'm gonna go into the shade Drip. And I'm gonna start using that to deepen up the outer corner just a little. And again, on that same brush, I'm gonna go into the color Sting, which is the deepest shade in the palette, and I'm just gonna use that to connect the very outer corner there into the crease. This part is not something I do often, and I really hope it doesn't ruin this look because I love the way these colors look on the lid. I'm gonna add a wing to this half cut crease. I don't usually combine those two things together, and I don't know why. Maybe I'll find out why right now. Maybe it sucks, I don't know, but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna use the Urban Decay PERVERSION liquid liner. It is a liquid liner pen. I smashed the brush up a little bit on this, but it still works really well, so I'm just gonna go with it. Oh, I actually really like that. Huh. I should combine a cut crease and a wing more often. I concealed underneath my eyes and crisped it up down there a little bit. I kind of want this look to remain top heavy, so I'm gonna just define the lower lash line, but keep it a little bit on the lighter side. So I'm gonna go into the shade Keeper on a BH number 7 brush, and I'm just gonna run that underneath the lower lashes and underneath that wing. That way it's defined but not harsh. Normally I would simply do a nude waterline to brighten it up and open this look up, but today, because this is a honey palette, I'm gonna use a yellow liner in my waterline. I'm gonna pick up the color Punch. This liner has seen better days and I definitely need to replace it, but it still gets the job done. I'm gonna pick up a pencil brush, and for the inner corner, I'm gonna go into the shade Flyby, which is this kind of satin white shade. Use that just to brighten, but not like add a whole ton to the look. Yes. Yes, we like that. Ooh, yes, we do. Yes, ma'am. Yes, bitch. All right, I'm gonna go do the same thing on the other eye. I'm gonna add some lashes, and then we'll change out this lip to something else. For the lip, you guys are gonna think I'm the most annoying bitch that ever bitched because I keep doing a similar combo to this over and over again, but let me tell you, it's so good right now, okay? I have a moment with golds and honey shades and yellows, and this is just yum, yum, yum. So I'm gonna do a warmish nude. I'm gonna use bow and arrow again. I'm gonna fill my lips in with Fenty Unbutton, but I'm also going to add to the center a little bit of the Melt Liquid Lipstick in the color Golden, because I really can't think of a more appropriate time. I can't think, you tell me a more appropriate time and I'll do it then too. And this is the second look. For look number 3, I'm gonna start with my BH number 6 brush again. I mentioned that sometimes when I do looks with a monochrome palette that I feel like they get a little bit repetitive, but I had an idea to add like a little creative twist at the end of this one. Not that it's like the most creative thing in the world. And I actually saw Mariah Leonard do something very similar to this. The eye look and the makeup look in general will not even remotely be the same, but she used the same little tattoos that I'm gonna put on at the end. So shout out to her for doing it first. If you don't watch her, by the way, you're missing out. She's like the funniest, but in like the most like chill, low-key way. I love her videos. I'm gonna start with my BH number 6 brush and I'm gonna go into the shade Swarm again. I really liked that shade in the last look. Using my Sigma E36 brush. By the way, I don't know, I never push this. I never tell you guys about my Sigma code. I have a Sigma code, and for some reason right now, if you use my code specifically, they sent me an email about this, you can get 40% off when you use code QUIN10 instead of the usual 10% off, and that's good through September 11th. I do get commissions from those codes, but I literally forget to mention that I even have a code 99.999999999% of the time. So I'm gonna take that Sigma E36 and I'm gonna go into the shade Drip. I'm gonna put that through the crease on the outer portion of the eye and on the inner portion of the eye. I'm gonna leave it alone in the center because I'm gonna do like a center cut crease. I don't know, I never know what to call that, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Well, you saw the look in the intro anyways, so you do know exactly what I'm talking about. A pencil brush, I'm gonna take a little bit of that same shade Drip and I'm gonna pack that onto the lid portion right underneath where we put that down. On a clean pencil brush, I'm gonna pick up some of the shade Honey and I'm going to pack that over here and over here. Just overlap that on the edges of that shade we just put down. Little tiny bit there. We're gonna go back in with this in a second, so this part might not be necessary. I'm just trying to make sure that I know like what color I want to place there before I start cutting the center crease portion. So very light concealer, whichever very light concealer works for you. Take my NABLA cut crease brush again and I'm going to create the little half moon shape right in the center above my natural crease. What I like to do when I do this, by the way, I don't know if I've ever explained this before, is I look straight ahead into the mirror and I mark out the edge of where I want that cut to be. And then once I have the edge down, I raise my eyebrows to flatten my lid out so that way I can work underneath that, and that just kind of helps you put it in the right spot so it looks like it makes sense when your eyes are open and you're just looking like normal, like you're chilling, living your life. But raising your eyebrows or tilting your head back flattens it out so you can like cover the area properly. On a MAC 221S brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Flyby. I packed a bunch of that onto that brush. I'm just gonna pat that over where we put that concealer down. Picking up a clean-ish pencil brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Golden. Wetting that a touch with some Fix Plus, I'm gonna put that down on the outside portion of the lids. Just wiping off that brush and doing the same thing with the shade Honey, which is the brightest gold. And I'm bringing that up over the area where we put down that white just a little bit. On a clean pencil brush, I'm gonna go back into the color Drip and tap that over the edge of Golden to blend it into the outer portions. I concealed and finished the other eye. Let's move on to the lower lashes. Really like this gradient on the top, but I want to switch it up. I don't want to do a full-on spotlight down the center because I've been doing that too much lately. So we're gonna do just a smoked out lower lash line. So on my BH number 7 brush, which is a little bit smaller, I'm gonna go into the shade Drip again, drag that all the way across, all the way around, all the way up into the top and connect that shit together. I'm bringing that down really low, like really like almost obnoxiously low, but you know what? It's gonna look good. It's gonna look so good in the end. I'm just blending the edge of that, making it nice, soft, rounded, blown out edge all the way around the whole eye. And then on this little lash line smudger brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Sting again, and I'm just gonna push that along the lower lashes on the outer half. For the waterline, I want to open it up. I'm going to brighten it. So I'm going to grab the Tarte Fake Awake pencil. You can use any nude pencil that works for you. And on the inner corner, I don't want it to be completely darkened and completely recessed looking. I want to brighten it just a little bit, but I also don't want to take away from that gradient that we have from the dark to light. So I'm going to grab a little bit of amber on a pencil brush, dab that on the lower part of the inner corner, and then drag that underneath the lower lash line. I'm going to go finish this eye, add some lashes, and we'll move on to the lip and some fun stuff. Okay, skin is done. We're looking a little bit dewy, but that's just, I just sprayed my face, so that should settle down in just a moment. For the lip, I want to go bold, and I was really struggling to think of a way where I can keep like the honey toned theme, but also get a bold lip going on. And I think I may, I'm not sure. I cannot confirm. I think a good way to do that will be to use the Auburn lip pencil from MAC Cosmetics. This is one of my favorite fall lip pencils, let me tell you. And in the center, I'm gonna put the Fenty Mademoiselle lipstick in the color Freckle Fiesta, which is this gorgeous orangey red. I think that will really be bold, but also go with the vibe. And this is the simple version of the third look. Okay, so just to add a little bit of something that's like, I don't know, maybe a little bit on the nose theme-wise, I bought these little bee tattoos a while ago thinking that they would be really cute in a makeup look, and like honestly, there has never been a better day to use them than now. The pack that I bought came with quite a few different designs, but these are the ones that I thought were the cutest. They're kind of like an illustrated look, and I think I'm gonna cut out this little fella right here and put him right there. These are just typical little temporary tattoos, nothing special. They're not specifically made for makeup. Now, I'm really hoping that the fact that I have to use a damp cloth to put this on doesn't screw up the rest of the makeup, but we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out here live together, live on camera. I have a damp paper towel here. I'm just gonna pre-wet this. I'm just gonna place it right there where I think I want my little bee friend to go. And then gently just dab over that with a damp paper towel to hopefully get it to stick. And if it doesn't stick, it doesn't stick. Cool, it didn't stick at all.
3 hours later.
Why is this doing nothing? What is happening? Oh, I tried making one stick to just my arm because I figured that maybe the reason it wasn't sticking was because I was doing it over makeup, but it didn't stick on my arm either. So what the hell? And then I tried one from a different sheet because I was like, maybe this is like a defective sheet of bees over here. And you know what? It didn't work either. So I'm thinking that maybe buying $3.99 shitty temporary tattoos from Amazon was maybe not as good an idea as I thought it was. I'm gonna chalk this experiment up to a fail, and this is just the third look now. What the hell, man? I'm very disappointed. I'm sad. So 3 looks are done. We had a bit of a serious fail at the end there. Not the fault of the palette, just the fault of the shitty tattoos that I bought on Amazon, but it's okay. It's good, we're gonna carry on. As far as the palette itself, I really like this as far as the Naked palettes go. I think this might be my, I don't wanna say it's the best Naked palette, but I think it's as good, in my opinion, as the Naked Heat palette, which I absolutely loved, by the way. I think the colors in here are probably more versatile for more people than the Naked Heat palette. As far as tones are concerned, I think that this is the perfect neutral fall palette. For a neutrals only palette, this has the most fall, like caramelly vibes I've seen in a while. I didn't personally pick up the Honey palette from ColourPop, so I can't compare it to that, but I think that had some similar tones as well. But as far as ones that I own, this is like the neutral palette that I could see myself using the most in the fall months. One thing I'm a little surprised about is the color Flyby here. I was thinking that this was going to be a matte white, and it's actually a satin white, which normally I don't like, but for some reason with the white shadow, or white-ish, it's like an off-white, it works. Like, it's something about it looks so bright and like very smooth and reflective, where sometimes I find that satin shadows emphasize the lines on your lids in all the wrong ways. I didn't really find that to be the case here, and it makes a stunning inner corner highlight. There was definitely a little bit of fallout, but nothing over the top, nothing you couldn't just brush away. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know, what is your favorite Naked palette? Are you planning to pick this one up when it releases? Do you have a favorite neutrals palette? I would love to hear that down below, because you know what? Neutrals can be interesting too. Please don't forget to leave a like on this video if you did enjoy it, because that really helps me out and I really appreciate it. And also, if you are new around here, you can expect more videos just like this all the time. And in order to not miss them, it would probably be best if you went ahead and subscribed. that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found these 3 looks helpful or entertaining, or it gives you some ideas of what to do with this palette today or with another palette if you have one that you can recreate these looks with. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I appreciate each and every single one of you, and I will see you in the next one. What do I want to do? I don't even know. I started this video and I don't even know what I want to do for the first look on the vlog. Ooh, man. Ooh, man. Sometimes I suck. Is there anything in my teeth? It's the dangers of an everything bagel, my friend. Putting that through the crease and blending it up where I'm thinking I want it to be. Okay.